Yo, can you hear me? If you can hear me, put a 1 in the chat right now. Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me. Make sure this audio is good. What up? What's good? What's good? What's good? All right, bet. I see some ones popping. Let me see them. Let me see them. Make sure you guys like the video on the way in. Make sure you like the video. I took probably about 2 hours to prepare this for you guys tonight. So please, the least you can do is hit the like button. I really appreciate it. Let's hit the like button. Let's get this. How do I see the likes? It's all good. It's all good. All right, So we're going to be talking about how to develop bulletproof discipline. I want to start off by letting you guys know that it took me years. My journey started, I want to say 2013, but prior to 2013, I had been struggling with weight loss for 10 years. I started trying to lose weight probably in 2003, sometime after high school when I gained most of my weight, and it's been an uphill battle. It has been an uphill battle. So really this journey for me started in 2003, which is almost 20 years ago. So I want to start off by saying that this is not something that you can develop in 6 months. But honestly, it doesn't have to take you as long as it took me. If I'd have known this stuff that I'm going to be sharing with you guys, it would not have taken me so long to develop better discipline. Now, you can improve your discipline significantly pretty quickly, just understanding these concepts. So this information honestly is going to connect for the people who are the closest to their breaking point. I'm going to say that again. This information is going to connect for the people who are closest to their breaking point. If you are sick and tired of your current situation. Now, remember, discipline obviously can be applied to anything you want to apply it to, right? Discipline can be applied to weight loss. It can be applied to relationships. It can be applied to making money. Whatever you want to do, you're going to need discipline. There's this quote. It says, "Where there's discipline, there's freedom. And where there isn't discipline, there's chaos." So everything chaotic in your life right now, if you think about it right now, everything that's chaotic in your life is connected to some lack of discipline in some shape, form, or fashion. If you agree with that, put a 2 in the chat. If you agree with that, if you think about it right now, stop really and think about the areas in your life where there's chaos. If you had discipline in that area, would that chaos exist? Put a 2 in the chat if you can relate to that, because I'm pretty sure it's not just me. My life was fucked up. I had legal issues. I had self-esteem issues. I was overweight. I was broke. I had anxiety. I was depressed. All of these things because I didn't have discipline. So developing discipline was probably the best thing I've ever developed. And now I feel like I'm superhuman. I feel like I'm superhuman. Just so you guys know, I will be taking super chat questions while we go. So just a heads up, if I pause to do super chats, just be patient, because I definitely appreciate the support. My man Plate of Success, I fell in the pussy and got stuck in a lazy boy. I know all about it, brother. Nah. But understand, like I said, the discipline is super duper important, right? Now, in order to dig deep enough to develop discipline, your why has to be strong. The reasons why you're doing this has to matter a lot to you. You're not going to be able to withstand the ups, the downs, the challenges, the resistance that will naturally occur while pursuing anything, right? While building discipline, while trying to lose weight, while trying to do anything. If you don't have a burning desire, it's not really going to work. You gotta want this thing that you're pursuing better than anything that you've ever wanted in your entire life. So burning desire is super important. Your why must create a burning desire. I can't teach you the burning desire. In 2013, when I decided to change my entire life, my lifestyle, and to reform my identity, it was because I had a burning desire. I was no longer going to accept being the person that I was. And I want you guys to feel empowered, because you can make that choice. You can make the choice in a moment to form a new identity, to become an entirely different version of yourself. Is it going to happen in an instant? No. But the decision is important. You have to decide. And the reasons why you're doing it has to be strong enough to push you. Now, if you don't have burning desire, I still want you to listen, right? But nothing I'm going to tell you is going to work if you don't have burning desire. I can lie to you and tell you it will, but it won't. You have to have burning desire, right? You also have to truly understand the value of having discipline. Like I said, where there's discipline in your life, there's freedom. Where there's not discipline in your life, there's chaos. If you are not if you don't have discipline with your finances, if you don't have discipline with your dick, if you don't have discipline with your food intake, there's chaos in all of these areas. There's chaos. There's nothing, there's not a tool that a person can have that's more powerful in creating their life than discipline. I want to be very, very clear about that, guys. All right, let me check. Intermittently, I'm going to check the chat to see what we got going on. All right, who we got here? Real quick, before I jump back into it. Sexual discipline. Michael, Metro, I don't want to slay your name, but Metro 4. I appreciate the $5 super chat. Sexual discipline is key, especially for men. For women as well. Sexual discipline is everything. I actually did a video today about dick discipline. It's super, super duper important. So I'll save that for that video. Bro, I went and hooped. I watched my food real close since the last stream. Lost 7 pounds since we last. God damn, bro. My man. I appreciate the super chat, man. My man said he lost 5 pounds since the last one. That's what's up. All right. I had to kill the old me, y'all. When I made that decision, I had to start on this journey to killing my old identity. I had to upgrade my operating system. Right now, we all have operating systems, right? Which is usually built from your conditioning. Part of it is your conditioning, right? Your mom, your dad, your family members, your teachers, your friends, the things that you consume, the movies you watch, the books that you read or you don't read. These all create what is your operating system, right? You make decisions based on what you know, right? You make decisions based on what you know. So if you've been taught certain things by people who don't have it figured out, you're operating from that operating system. So in order to create a new reality, to create a new body, you have to uninstall, right? Unlearn what you currently know, right? Because what you currently know is what built the body that you have right now. What you currently know is what built the life that you have right now, right? So in order to build a new body or a new life, you have to uninstall. You have to uninstall your software, your operating system, right? Let's say you have a Mac or PC. Macs, I don't know what they run, Windows. I'm not a Mac guy, but PC, you run, whatever. Like, what am I running right now? This is Big Sur, right? I'm running Big Sur on my Mac, and that's my operating system. So the way that I unprogrammed my operating system was isolation. Now, I'm not telling people to do this, right? I'm not telling people to isolate themselves, but like I said, I had burning desire. I was no longer going to accept being the version of myself that I was, right? The fat, lazy, freaking self-conscious, no confidence having, womanizing, corner cutting ass dude. I didn't want to be that dude anymore. I wanted a new identity. I wanted to be a man of integrity. I wanted to be a man that contributed to the evolution of my species. That's who I wanted to be, and I wasn't that at the time. So I had to program myself through books, through audiobooks and podcasts. I stopped watching TV. I stopped really going out with certain friends. Like I pretty much sacrificed my entire social life because I needed to flush out all of the garbage that was in my mind. I had to flush it out. All right, quick super chat. What do you suggest about discipline with sugar? And that one's tough. That one's tough. So the thing about sugar, initially, you got to treat it like an addiction, right? You have to treat it like an addiction, and everybody in your household has to be on board with you. You guys have your significant other. You have to create a safe zone for yourself, to give yourself some time away from it, to flush it out of your system. So certain foods aren't even allowed into my house because I know that they're weaknesses of mine, right? Fruity Pebbles are the box of Fruity Pebbles is not allowed into my home because I know I will crush it. So the first thing I would do is to try to create a safe zone at home where there's no sugar there. You don't allow it in your house. That's the first thing. And then you also, sometimes we crave sugar, sometimes it's an emotional crutch. Sometimes after you get it out of your system for a while, you stop craving it so much. Sometimes you got to do a fast from it. So you have to keep it away from you. All right, let's jump right back in. All right, so Tisha says your operating system can be changed or rewired. Absolutely. If you're familiar with Dr. Joe Dispenza, you should look his stuff up. He speaks about how neurons that fire together wire together. So it's all about repetition. And that's exactly what building habits are, right? Every single time you have an opportunity to perform a behavior, you're essentially adapting it or adopting it to your habits. So that's why consistency, like I always say, consistency over intensity is super duper important. Super duper important. By the way, guys, these t-shirts, the Transform Your Mind t-shirts and the consistency over intensity t-shirts, they drop on my birthday, September the 7th. So stay tuned for that. There's only going to be a limited amount. All right, it's going to be a limited amount. Dr. Joe Dispenza is the truth, guys. So you want to check him out. All right, so let's carry on. I appreciate the super chats. All right, so first and foremost, you have to attach discipline to your identity. First thing, even before you develop the discipline, you have to attach it to your identity. You have to because discipline is not something you do, it's something you are, right? You're disciplined. If you say, who is Bricks? I'm gonna say he's a disciplined man. He's a man who attaches discipline to his identity. Integrity is attached to my identity. So put that shit in your bio. There's something funny about what we put in our bios, right? If you tell yourself you're something, your behaviors will somehow magically start to go in that direction. So start attaching discipline and integrity to your identity. It's a part of who you are, right? A part of who you are. Just like certain people, they identify with religious groups, right? I'm a Christian. But when they say I'm a Christian, it's they know certain behaviors come with being a Christian. So they call themselves that. Say, yo, I'm disciplined. And then not even right now, if it's not true yet, discipline will follow, right? A discipline will follow. All right. So like I mentioned, discipline isn't something you have. Discipline is something that you are. You have to be disciplined, right? And I'm gonna teach you guys, I'm gonna show you guys pretty much what I did to develop discipline. All right, so first let's define self-discipline, right? Self-discipline is the ability to control your feelings and overcome your weaknesses. Who here is put something in the chat, put a hand, some sort of emoji if you're aware of your weaknesses. Let me see some. Are you aware of your weaknesses? Because not everyone is aware of their weaknesses. Put an emoji in the chat if you are aware of your weaknesses. Okay. See, self-awareness is so key. Self-awareness is so key. And having the ability to be honest with yourself is super duper duper key. Put an emoji in the chat if you are aware of your weaknesses. Right? Let's practice. Let's practice speaking what they are. It's okay to acknowledge, listen, I need to improve in this area. I need to improve in that area. It's super important that we are able to have these conversations with ourselves, right? Super duper 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 important, guys. Super duper important. So shout out to everybody who has acknowledged their weaknesses. And it's not to beat up on yourself, right? It's just to acknowledge that there are areas that you need to improve on, right? We all do. I have a lot of weaknesses still that I'm working on. Everyone does. And it's okay. All right. You guys got this for real. Okay. So another definition of self-discipline, right, is the ability to do things that you need to do even when you don't feel like doing them. That's the best definition there is of discipline, right? Of self-discipline is the ability to do the things you need to do even when you don't feel like doing it. Listen, success, and you can apply this to anything that you want to be successful in life. It requires you doing a whole bunch of things that you may not feel like doing. Can you imagine your life if you only did the things that you felt like doing? Can you imagine what your life would be like? I know for sure my life would be chaotic, to say the least. My life would be chaotic, to say the least, if you only did things that you felt like doing. That's just not how life works, guys. So the better you are at doing things that you may not feel like doing, you're doing them anyway, I'm telling you, the more freedom you will have in your life. When you can develop that mental muscle that pushes past that resistance. It's a muscle, guys. Just like you build your biceps with repetitions, boom, boom. Every repetition, you're building your bicep. Every time you do something that you may not feel like doing, you are essentially strengthening that mental muscle that will increase your discipline, that will increase your willpower every single time. So be intentional about that. Be intentional about looking at these opportunities to do things you don't feel like doing, right? Be intentional about really appreciating that. Right? It's important for you to appreciate it. Now, so look, if you notice, both of these definitions of self-discipline, they speak about your feelings, right? The ability to control your feelings, right? To overcome your weakness, the ability to do things even when you don't feel like doing them, right? Feelings. You can't talk about disciplines without talking about emotion. You got to think about that. You can't talk about discipline without talking about emotions. And I know it's mostly men in here right now, and men don't like talking about their emotions, but we're going to talk about some emotions today, y'all. Let me be on it. We're going to talk about emotions because you cannot disconnect the two. Shout out to you, Kwame. Kwame said he's under construction. He's under construction. We're all under construction. He's trying to become a new him. But I want y'all to know, listen, you can become a new you. You can reconstruct your identity at any moment by deciding to and having a burning desire to. You have to have a burning desire. It doesn't happen without a burning desire. That's the only thing. People, like I always tell people, like, I'm not special. What I did with my body and what I did with my life isn't special. I'm not special. But the only thing that separates me from most people who don't do it is the fact that, one, I had an intense burning desire, and two, I just never quit, guys. I failed a lot. I told you guys in the beginning of this stream, I struggled with weight loss for 10 years, bro. 10 years. I started trying to lose weight in 2013 after I put on a bunch of weight after high school. 2003. And it didn't stick until 2013. And in 2013 is when I stopped quitting. That's not when I stopped failing. That's just when I stopped quitting. That's when I just decided that I wasn't going to accept failure. I wasn't going to quit anymore. I failed a bunch. Let me say that. I failed a bunch more, but I was no longer going to accept who I currently was. Guys, if you're just coming in, make sure y'all hit the like button. Please. I really appreciate the likes. Let's try to get this. Let me check the likes, y'all. Let me check it out. Hold on. Where we at? We're only at 138 likes now. I'm gonna stop. We got to get the likes up, y'all. There's 200 people in here right now. Everybody should have hit the like button. And I'm gonna get back to what I'm talking about once we get the likes up. And I'll take some questions too after I get through my material. What up, Rude Life? What's going on, y'all? Let's get these likes up, y'all. Let's get these likes up. All right, they're coming up. Let's get them. Let's get them up. Let's get them up. We are at 174. Once we get to 200, I'll start again. Let's get to 200 likes. Come on, y'all. I spent a lot of time. I'm not even asking y'all for super chats. I spent a lot of time preparing this material, guys. We're trying to get at least to 200 likes before I continue. Come on, y'all. I appreciate the love. 2K, what up? Jamal, what up, man? Just started working out. Let's get the likes up. Cliff Green, what up? Where we at right now? Somebody tell me. All right, we at 191. All right, we almost did. Let me know when we get to 200. I got some heat for y'all tonight. And I want to make sure you guys are appreciating this. Planet Fitness. I love Planet Fitness. We're at 195, 193. Come on, let's get 3 more, y'all. Transform Your Mind t-shirt, September the 7th, guys. September the 7th. Are we at 200 likes? All right, we hit 200 likes. All right, bam. Cool. I appreciate y'all. But keep the likes going. Let's keep the likes going. All right, so look. You can't talk about developing discipline without feelings, right? Without emotions. Emotions are running our lives right now, right? What you do is pretty much determined, right? There's this, matter of fact, let me put that on. Let me create this right now. There's a formula, right? I'll put this on the screen. It's the TFAR formula. It's thoughts creates feelings, which lead to action, which leads to results, right? I'm gonna say that again. Let me break it down. Hold on. Let me fix this. Thoughts. I'm gonna type it all the way out. Thoughts, feelings, actions equal results. This is the formula, guys. This is an important formula. I'm gonna sit on this for a second. Thoughts. My bad. Here we go. Thoughts lead to feelings, right? Your thoughts, whatever you think, creates an emotion in your body, right? Once it creates the emotion in your body, that's normally what inspires action, whether that's going to the gym or not going to the gym, whether that's eating the ice cream or eating the broccoli. It's based on how you're feeling, right? And your actions is always responsible for the results you get or the results you don't get, right? Depending on how you're looking at it. So your thoughts create your feelings inspire your actions create your results. Now, if you understand this formula, you'll understand why it's so important to try to tame your mind, right? Try to tame your mind. Because if you can get control of your thoughts, right? And when I say control, I don't mean controlling what thoughts you have, because you can't do that. It doesn't work that way. But what you can do is change the way you respond to your thoughts. I'm going to say that again. You cannot control your thoughts. Your thoughts are going to pop up. You have whatever, a million thoughts a day, and you can't control them. But you can control how you react, how you respond to your thoughts. And that's super, super duper, duper, duper important, right? Now, you have to tame your mind if you want to develop discipline. And the way you tame your mind is through mindfulness. Have you guys heard of the term mindfulness? By now, a bunch of people, a lot of you guys should have heard of mindfulness by now. Have you guys heard of mindfulness? If you heard of mindfulness, put an emoji in the chat right now. If you've heard of mindfulness, I want to just get a feel of how many people actually heard of mindfulness. Put an emoji in the chat if you've heard of mindfulness. Let's get the likes up. If you guys are just joining right now, let's hit the like button on the way in. I appreciate that. Put an emoji. Okay, so mindfulness. Now understand this, guys. Mindfulness isn't some spiritual thing. It can be, right? But mindfulness, there's so much science about the benefits of mindfulness. Mindfulness is the gateway to self-awareness. And you cannot develop discipline if you do not have self-awareness. I'm going to say this again. You cannot develop discipline if you do not have self-awareness. Now, mindfulness, right? Let me pull up a definition of mindfulness for people who don't know, right? And I mentioned this. Mindfulness is the gateway to self-awareness. I said self-awareness. Lord have mercy. I need to get somebody to proofread. Let me fix that. No, we're going to leave it. No, I'm going to fix it real quick. I'm going to be being up here looking like a fool. All right, mindfulness is the gateway to self-awareness and self-discipline, right? So mindfulness increases our ability to regulate our emotions. There's many mindfulness practices. There's mindfulness meditation. There's, put it like this. If you want to feel an example of what it's like to focus or to be mindful, try to write with your opposite hand. If you're right-handed, try to write with your left hand. And think about how much focus and attention you got to pay to trying to actually write with your left hand if you're right-handed. Even that's just one example of mindfulness. Or washing your hands or washing the dishes, let's say, and feeling the water on your hands. You got to pay attention. It's bringing your mind into the moment. And when you're able to bring your mind into the moment, you can be aware of your emotions. And again, remember I told you guys about that formula, right? Thoughts leads to feelings, which leads to actions. If you are aware of how you're feeling, then you can be aware of the choice of action that you choose to make based on that feeling. Now, understand this, guys. It takes practice. It takes practice. It has taken me years of practice. But if anything, I want you guys to leave this live stream with the intention of developing self-awareness and doing some mindfulness research, figuring out, okay, what does mindfulness look like for me, right? Because mindfulness, again, is the gateway to self-awareness. And self-awareness, no change can happen without self-awareness. You cannot change anything about yourself if you don't know yourself, if you don't see yourself. Understand that. Mindfulness is the gateway to self-awareness and self-discipline. Without mindfulness, I'm not going to say that, right? I'm not going to say without mindfulness you can't develop self-discipline, but that's the way that I developed self-discipline, through mindfulness. Fat Bricks, he wasn't mindful at all. This guy, hold on, let me pull up a picture of this guy. This guy, Fat Bricks, man, he had, this guy didn't know his ass from his elbow. Hold on. Look, I got all these pictures of his fat ass. Let me pull up one. Boom. This guy right here, he didn't know whether he was coming or going. There was no mindfulness in this band. He just wanted to be, he was drunk as hell in this picture too. He was drunk as hell. He was drunk as hell. Listen, he was totally unaware of what was happening inside of him. His entire reality was based on what was going on outside of him. And that was unfortunate, because the power to change yourself is within, right? And I know that's a lot of people, they're like, oh, you're talking that, whatever, pie in the sky, spiritual stuff. But listen, this is just the truth of it. And this is my path. I can't speak for everybody, but I was able to change my relationship with food. I was able to develop discipline. I was able to take control of my life through mindfulness, through being able to access my emotions and my thoughts, and practicing making better decisions, or practicing reacting differently to my emotions. Instead of eating, I tried to find other ways to process my emotions. Instead of drinking, I try to find other ways to process my emotions. Right? And it was tough, guys. It wasn't something that happened overnight. It definitely didn't happen overnight. It took a while, right? But like I said, if nothing else, guys, I want you to leave this live stream with the intention and with the understanding, I should say, that mindfulness, right, is the key. Self-awareness is the key. It's absolutely the key, guys. Absolutely the key. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. Look at him. Look how sad he was. He looked sad as hell, right? Oh man. Fat Bricks, man. If you got love for Fat Bricks, put an emoji in the chat if you got love for Fat Bricks. I got love for Fat Bricks. He taught me a lot. This guy taught me a lot. Look at him. Titties. Ooh, look at those titties. Damn, look at them titties. It's crazy. Look at this. Damn, boy. That nigga used to eat. Bro, look at this guy. Sheesh. This guy Fat Bricks was a... Whew. Dang. How much did I weigh there? I weighed 2. Yeah, right. I was 360 pounds right there. Put it like this. I don't even know how much I weighed, because the scale used to go to 350. And after 350, it would give me an error message. So I used to get an error message for sure. We got a super chat. Would you be open to doing a live stream at least once a week, bro? I would definitely show up if it was somewhere between Monday and Thursday for sure. Yeah, no, I want to start live streaming more often for sure. But we got to get these super chats up, guys. Yeah, I have a lot on my plate. I appreciate the super chats. I took a lot of time to put this together. But anyway, let's get back to it. I appreciate the support, Rip City. Rip City has been one of the biggest supporters since I started doing this live streaming. Since the last time I did a live stream, bro. I appreciate you. Fat Bricks lost more than weight, for sure. Fat Bricks lost his whole entire identity, the old identity. Bricks, tell the thing about why so the late folks can hear it. What do you mean, Cody? What are you talking about? What are you talking about, Cody? All right, so let's get back to it. All right, so now how do you develop mindfulness, right? Mindfulness questioning is a good way to start. That's a good way to start. And mindful questioning is a question that you ask yourself that brings awareness to your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions. Remember the formula, guys. I'm going to keep going back to this formula. Thoughts leads to your feelings leads to your actions, and your actions is what creates the results in your life, right? Thoughts, feelings, actions, results. So what you want to do is you want to ask yourself questions that brings awareness to your thoughts, that brings awareness to your feelings, that brings awareness to your actions. Again, self-awareness is the gateway. You cannot develop discipline without self-awareness. It is the gateway. It is the gateway. You can't develop discipline without self-awareness. That's just the truth of it, right? So look, here's one question you can ask yourself. And I want you guys to ask yourself this right now. What emotions am I feeling right now? And don't just give some generic, really like use like 2 to 3 words to describe what you're feeling, right? And then hold on, let's stop there right now. Stop for a second and ask yourself, what emotions am I feeling right now? Are you excited? Are you sad? Like, let's talk about what emotions you were feeling before this live started. What was your dominant emotion today? How were you feeling? Right? Were you optimistic? Were you feeling challenged? Were you feeling depressed? Were you feeling disappointed? Were you feeling, I don't know, insert an emotion there, right? How were you feeling? Asking yourself how you're feeling is a question that brings you into the moment, right? It brings awareness to your thoughts, to your emotions. And then you can have a better understanding why you do the things you do, right? And when you ask yourself this question, right, you use 2 to 3 words to describe what you're feeling. And I know I'm going to start losing, especially men, because men don't like talking about their emotions, but we need to. You need to talk about your emotions. You need to face your shit. You need to have the courage to be honest with yourself about the things that you need to improve. And it starts by having an honest conversation with yourself. And I'm going to get into the nuts and bolts of what I think you should do step by step. Ask yourself, what emotions am I feeling right now? Name the emotion. Let me check the chat real quick. Let's check the chat. Feeling anxiety, suicidal, I feel cheated, empathetic, regret, excited. These are good words. Margie Rihanna, I'm sorry if I'm killing your name. Wilman, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. I appreciate you checking this out and you expressing your appreciation that way. I really appreciate that. So we got disappointed. Someone's feeling disappointed, feeling lost, wants change. I appreciate the vulnerability right now, guys. It's feeling overwhelmed, feeling careless, feeling sadly complacent. This is heavy stuff, guys, and this is really good for you to be able to express this. Shay, 65 pounds down, that's what's up. Pret's feeling motivated, upset, and mad at myself. Listen, and that's all normal, guys. Feel your feelings. Feel your feelings. But also understand that these emotions, they're not you. They're not, your identity isn't tied up into these emotions. These are conditions that you are experiencing right now, based on decisions that you may have made in the past. I'm going to say that again. Feel your emotions. Feel them. Right? Feel them. It's okay to feel them. You're feeling what you're feeling right now in this moment. It's conditional. It's only right now based on the decisions that you may have made in the past, right? Actions that you took in the past. But you can take new actions that leads to different emotional states. You have to know that you have that power. You have to know that you have that power. Our life is simply a compilation of the decisions that we make every day. That's it. That's what our life is. It's a compilation of the decisions that we make. So every scenario in your life that are causing whatever emotions that you're feeling right now, right? And I'm a big fan, because obviously sometimes there are factors that are outside of ourselves that contribute to what we're feeling emotionally. I acknowledge that. Some of us have less than ideal situations at home, right? Some of us were born into families who are abusive and all of these things. Trust me, I know. I'm a person that has had that experience. So I empathize with you. But let me tell you this. There's way more power in taking ownership of your reality, of not being a victim of circumstance. And it's a decision, guys. It's a perspective. It's a perspective. No matter what is going on in my life, whoever contributes to whatever scenario, I'm going to always find a way to take ownership, because I create my reality. Especially if you're an adult at this point, right? If you're a child, it's different. If you're young and you're living under your parents' roof, it's different. But if you're an adult, I don't care what your past was. Your past doesn't have to be attached to your identity anymore. But a lot of us, we're addicted to these stories, right? These narratives that we've known all our lives, right? And I've had to check myself on that too, right? I'm from a broken home. I'm from the hood. I was raised in an abusive household, right? This was my story. It is my story. But now I say it with different energy. I don't say it as woe is me. I was the victim. My daddy left me. I don't talk about it in that way anymore, right? You got to change that narrative. And I know I'm probably deviating right now, but we got to change that narrative. It's if your story about yourself isn't serving you, if it's not creating positive emotions in your body, then I want you to let it go. I want you to let it go. If it's not serving you, you need to let that shit go. And it's a decision. So look, guys, sometimes, so for me, it took therapy, right? It took me getting mentors. It took me studying hours and hours and hours and hours of literature. It took hours and hours and hours of meditation. It took hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. I mean, thousands of hours of journaling in order for me to get to this place where I was able to heal. Guys, we need to heal, guys. We need to heal. Tisha says, I don't try to push those emotions out. I acknowledge them so I can move forward. I love that. We got another super chat from Rip City. I feel like that social norm to suppress emotions is even more heightened in the Black community. don't want to appear weak or like a bitch. Yeah. And that's unfortunate. We got to evolve past that, y'all. We have to evolve past that. It's okay to express your emotions. And I'm talking specifically to my men because we are the worst at it. Black men, we are the worst when it comes to expressing our emotions. And when you don't express it, that's not healthy. It's not healthy. It leads to, all types of things that we don't want. So whether you got to have a friend or some sort of mentor or someone that you can speak to about what you're feeling is super important. Now we're going to tie this all back to discipline. Again, you cannot develop discipline if you don't have self-awareness. And the gateway to self-awareness is mindfulness. Mindfulness. I want everybody after this live to do research on mindfulness. Like, what is mindfulness, and figure out what's the best mindfulness practice that you can implement into your life, and start today. If I could suggest one habit to people to develop, it is somehow working in some sort of mindfulness practice into your life. It will significantly impact every area of your life. Significantly, for sure. Cody says, you told us that to highlight your why, that burning desire inside. I love that he sent 1111. I've been seeing that's so crazy. I've been seeing 11s like crazy, or ones, I should say. You told us to highlight our why, that burning desire inside to keep us motivated. That hit hard for me. I bet that the late people didn't catch that gem. See your brother. Love to you and yours. Thank you, Cody. And Cody is not even doing this for himself. He caught the gem already. He wanted me to reiterate it for the people who are just coming in. So guys, make sure y'all thank Cody in the chat, because this was a very selfless move. I appreciate you, Cody. So what he was saying is, so what I was saying, I should say, is in order for you to develop discipline, right? In order for you to create some sort of change in your life, you have to have a burning desire. You have to know your why, right? Let me go back to that post, right? Your why must create a burning desire. For me, my why was the fact that I wanted to be the type of man that I would want my daughter to marry. I wanted to be a good example for my children. I wanted to be happy. I wanted to be healthy. I wanted to have the energy to play with them. Think about it. When I was fat, my kids were little. Like, my daughter turned 15 yesterday. But if we were rewind the clock 7 years, 8 years, 10 years ago, she was 5 years old. She wanted to run around. She wanted to play. She still does. My daughter still wants to play hide and seek. And I didn't have the energy back then. And I wasn't okay with that. Your why, right? Your why must create a burning desire inside of you. Now, if you may not have kids, right? Your why has to be something bigger than just for you. To be honest, we normally show up better to challenges or to obligations when we have someone else counting on us. So figure out what your why is. Like, why do you want to change? Why do you want to evolve? Right? And then really use that to create burning desire inside of you. It's super important, guys. Super important. Thanks, Cody, for that super chat, bro. I really, 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 really appreciate it. Miss Jackson says she's feeling hopeful / fearful. Fear is important, honestly. I feel fearful. I feel uncertainty, and it's a part of, it's a part of life. But hopeful, definitely. I'm glad you're feeling hopeful, Miss Jackson. Darian said, I swear I told myself the same thing. I want to be the best example for my kids. We have to create this culture. We have to create a culture of wellness in our households, y'all. It's time. It's time that we evolve, y'all. We got to do better. We got to do better. Luke said he feels uneasy. Jesse's feeling grateful. Love it. Thanks for sharing these emotions with us, guys. This stuff's important that we talk about. Even if we can just talk about it here, it's gonna be helpful. All right, so let's talk a little bit more about mindfulness, right? It helps us increase our ability to regulate our emotions. It decreases stress. It decreases anxiety and depression. It can also help us focus our attention as well as to observe our thoughts, feelings without judgment. See, think about what you focus on expands in your life. I'm gonna say that again. What you focus on expands in your life. It gets bigger the more you focus on it. So what are you focusing on? Right? I give this example of when you, like this one time I locked my keys in the car. In the past, right before I started to practice mindfulness, in the past, because this happened to me plenty of times, I'm pissed. I'm kicking the car. I'm like, oh, what the F? I'm cursing, I'm screaming. But what is that doing? Me expending that energy to be upset and to stare at the keys that are locked in the car, how is that helping? When I could have been using that energy to focus on a solution, right? What you focus on expands. If you're focusing on the fact that you're in an effed up situation, that effed up situation is going to feel bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Focus on a solution. Focus on the solution. I know it kind of deviated a little bit, but let's talk about a little bit specifically about self-awareness, because again, you cannot develop discipline without self-awareness. If you don't know yourself, if you're not in tune with your emotions, if you don't know how you're feeling, if you don't know why you're reacting the way you react, if you don't know why you're eating the way you eat, you can't change it. You have to understand the source of your behaviors, the source of your emotions, the source of your thoughts. You have to understand this stuff, right? Self-awareness is knowing one's state, internal states, preferences, resources, and intuitions. That's one example. It's one definition. Another definition, self-awareness involves monitoring your inner world. Monitoring your inner world. Out here is the outer world. That's everything that's going on, right? This desk, this computer, this camera, that's the outer world, right? Food. But then there's another world that's located inside of you. Your thoughts, your emotions, right? The things that inspire you, the things that motivate you, the things that you feel in your body, those little signals that your body send to your mind, asking you to do certain things or asking you to do or not do certain things. That's another world that we need to discover. We need to really dive deep within ourselves to understand the inner workings of our mind. Because that's when you access that, that's where you can develop discipline. But you have to be aware of this stuff, right? So I spoke about the mindful question, right? Here's another mindful question. Once you ask yourself what emotions you're feeling, right? Then ask yourself, what thoughts are causing this emotion, right? Some of you said you were feeling fearful. Like really break it down. Like, what did you think that created that feeling of fear in your body? What was it, right? I'm going to go back up the chat, right, and get some more of these emotions that you guys left so we can break this stuff down, right? Jeremy said he was feeling inadequate. I don't want to highlight you. I don't mean to highlight you, bro. I hope that's okay, man. But what thought made you feel inadequate? What did you think to yourself that made you feel like you weren't enough? And really break down what's the origin of that thought? Is that a belief that was instilled in you by your parents? maybe because, and this is, I don't know you obviously, but there may have been a lack of attention there or lack of love in some way, right? Really think about what thoughts created that emotion. Jones Priest says they're feeling disappointed. What's causing that emotion? What's causing that? Really ask yourself these questions. Really ask yourself these questions, guys. Failure, fear of not succeeding at it. Yo, fear is one of the biggest things that hold us back. You can't be afraid to fail. Listen, once I changed my relationship with the experience of failure, it changed my life. I used to look at failure as this bad, terrible thing. You can't. All the experts in the world, right? Insert space, fitness, relationships, whatever. The experts are the ones who fail the most. That's why they're experts. Because they fail the most. You got to understand the role of failure in your life, guys, and you have to embrace it. It's going to be uncomfortable. Failing is not fun. But a lot of the things involved in winning at life isn't fun. Developing discipline is a game of awareness and willpower. Developing awareness through mindfulness, right? Developing self-awareness through mindfulness. Self-awareness leads to self-discipline because you understand yourself. You know why you understand what's the origin of your actions based on your thoughts and your feelings, right? You understand it on a very deep level. And it's not just this automatic response, this automatic programming that's just there. It's just running. Like it's this program, it's this conditioning, right? I spoke about the operating system earlier, right? Your operating system, your Windows, whatever, or whatever your operating system, whatever you want to call your operating system, is creating actions, automatic actions. A lot of what we do is automatic. We don't even decide. A lot of our decisions are not even, a lot of our actions, I should say, are not even our decision. A lot of it is just automatic. We have to disrupt that automatic loop, right? Think about it. Humans are creatures of habit. We're creatures of habit, right? So, for instance, if you're used to eating at a certain time every day, you can even not be hungry, but once the clock strikes 12, oh, it's lunchtime. Your body's going to start sending signals to your mind telling you to eat. Where if you really stopped and really brought attention to your body and really how you're feeling, you're probably not even hungry. It's just automatic. You have to gain access to these automatic responses. Thank you, Shayna Prince. I appreciate the super chat. I really appreciate that. You have to gain access to the operating system, and you have to update it. You have to update it. So one very practical way to develop the discipline muscle is to practice doing it anyway. Look at every single opportunity for you to do a thing that you don't feel like doing, right? Let's go back up to the definition of discipline. The ability to do the things you need to do even when you don't feel like doing it. I don't feel like exercising. I don't feel like meal prepping. I don't feel like making this last sales call. I don't feel like going for this walk. So what? So what? So what? You don't feel like it. Again, if you did only the things that you felt like doing, your life would be trash. Your life would be basura. Basura. Trash. Your life would be chaos. I appreciate you, Christopher Hunt. I appreciate you, Yvette. Thank you so much for the super chats, guys. Your life would be trash if you only did the things that you felt like doing. Y'all need to be better than that. You deserve better. Now, like I said, let's think about this in a very practical sense. Every time, right? And I don't want this live to go too much longer, but let's just break this down. The way you develop discipline is by practicing doing it anyway. Being aware in the moment when you have something that you know you need to do and you're feeling the resistance, you're feeling the laziness creep in, you're feeling your mind giving you all of these justifications as to why you shouldn't do the thing, right? You hear it. You hear that voice in your head telling you, oh, it's okay not to do it today. You can do it tomorrow. Or you don't have to work out. You ate whatever. You ate good today. Or whatever, right? Whatever bullshit your mind comes up with to get you to talk you out of doing the things that you know you need to do. Whenever you notice that, now this is where mindfulness kicks in. Because without mindfulness, you don't have the awareness that you're in the middle of a moment of opportunity to do it anyway. So now anytime I feel fear, anytime I feel this resistance to do things, I practice over time doing it anyway. And every time you manage to do it anyway, you are strengthening that mental muscle that develops discipline, that is discipline. Discipline is a part of your brain, right? Discipline sits, and this is, don't quote me on this, is not science. This is Brixology right here. Let's keep it 100. Discipline sits in your brain, in a certain part of your brain, that when you do things anyway, when you do the shit anyway, that part of your brain gets stronger. Wherever discipline is seated in your brain, every time you do it anyway, that part of your brain becomes stronger. So ultimately, it comes down to this. Now, I told you, mindfulness is the gateway to self-awareness, right? Self-awareness is what gives you the awareness in the moment that you have this opportunity to exercise that discipline part of your mind. And this whole live could have been summed up in just that statement. Do the shit anyway. Straight up. Do it anyway. And what's going to happen? The more times you do it when you don't feel like doing it, the stronger your will is going to become. Your willpower is going to strengthen. You're going to be stronger. And it happens. Listen, this is a game of inches. This is a game of inches. So if you're able to do it 1 time a day or 2 times a day, right? Because we have plenty of opportunity. I'm pretty sure if you pay close enough attention, you will see. We have the opportunity several times per day to exercise this part of your mind. We have several opportunities. Thank you, Jeff M, for the super chat. Brixology just answered my question. I love that. We have several opportunities. So if you just make it your business to try to start collecting these wins, right? These, I like to call them micro wins. Whenever I don't feel like going to the gym and I get to the gym, even if I don't do my full workout, but I get there and I just walk on a treadmill, that is a win. I did it anyway. Sometimes you got to compromise. Sometimes you got to play mental games with yourself. But I did it anyway. And that strengthens my discipline. That strengthens my willpower. And that's why I'm able to look like I look, right? Because I do what I need to do, not what I feel like doing. That's why. That's why I got bread in my account and I can go buy wherever I want to buy. I can wake up tomorrow morning and go to Europe if I want to. You know why? Because I do what I need to do, not what I want to do all the time. I don't care what I want to do. Half the shit I do every single day I don't want to do. But I have freedom in my life because I made it a habit of doing it anyway. When I don't feel like going to the gym, I do it anyway. When I don't feel like eating my meal prep food, I do it anyway. You got to do it anyway. And the more you push past, the more you just do it anyway. Listen. Yo, you're going to start showing up to challenges in ways you're not even going to recognize yourself. You're going to level up so fast because it's about the actions we take. We're not who we think we are. Your identity is tied up in what you do every day. That is who you are. Not what you say, not what people think about you. That's not who you are. You are what you do every day. If you want to know who you are, look at what you do every day. Are you growing? Are you doing things that's gonna cause you to grow? Are you doing things that's going to create a legacy for your family? Are you doing things that's going to create financial freedom for yourself? Are you doing these things? Are you doing things that's going to lead you to when you're in your 60s and 70s and you're feeling healthy? Are you stretching? Are you drinking water? Are you reading books? Are you creating positive relationships in your life? Or are you binge watching bullshit on Netflix and eating fucking ice cream? Is that what you're doing? Are you not stretching because you're not thinking about your 67-year-old self? Are you not cutting back on sugar? Are you drinking sodas every day because you want the instant gratification? You want that dopamine hit right now instead of delaying it? Is that what you're doing? Thank you for the super chat, Miss Jackson. Thank you so much. Is that what you're doing? You're going to pay for that later. You are going to pay for it. And I want you to think about that right now. So again, to wrap this up, guys, discipline is developed by simply doing it anyway. The way you're able to recognize when you have an opportunity to exercise the discipline muscle is through self-awareness. You develop self-awareness through mindfulness practices. Now, I can go deeper into this stuff, guys. I'm very passionate about mindfulness. I meditate every single day. I journal every single day. I have mindful moments every single day. And it is the reason why I have freedom in my life. Thank you, James Davids. I appreciate the super chat. It is the reason. It is the reason why I have freedom. It's the reason why I have peace. Bro, listen. Money and following on social media and, whatever, right? Insert thing that people celebrate. Those are all great. But the thing that I cherish the most in my life is the fact that I have peace. So I don't care who's talking about me on the internet. I am a man of integrity. I know who I am. I know who I am. That's why I will forever be unfazed by anybody who has anything negative to say about me. I know myself. I have peace. I know what I do behind closed doors. I have no secrets. I have peace. And that is my prized possession. That is my prized possession. over everything. Next to the Brick Squad. I love you guys. You guys are up there on the top of the list for me of things that I really, really love and really appreciate. Jamal Anderson, go grab that that Jumpstart program, man. It's the bomb. Yes, Inner Peace. Thank you, Stanley Seymour, for the super sticker. I appreciate that. My inner peace is everything to me, baby. It's the reason why I wake up every morning and I'm like, yo, my life feels surreal. It's the reason why when I lay down at night, I feel joy. I have these blissful moments. This bliss-filled moments. This live stream just unlocked something in my brain somehow. Thank God I saw you from Fresh and Fit. And salute. I appreciate you, the advisor. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for all the super chats tonight, guys. I really, 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 really appreciate the support. Shayna says she's feeling encouraged. Guys, this is so much fun, but I honestly have more work to do tonight. I got videos to shoot, so I appreciate y'all, and I'm gonna start doing this more often. All right, shout out to everybody who checked in. Vincent said this was his first live stream he's ever attended. Great knowledge. Oh man, that makes me so happy, Vince. Thank you guys so much. All right. Remember, the body that you want is owned by a higher version of you. So evolve. All right. Much love, y'all. Peace.